So it's our vacation in Cabo San Lucas. The women were supposed to be with us, but they both, due to COVID, one way or another, weren't able to make it. So instead of all four of us, it's just me and Gary, two wild and crazy guys. So here's a beautiful shot of some of the mountainous ranges of Mexico. Really, really pretty. After about a 40-minute ride from the airport, we arrived at the Villa del Arco, which is one of the three buildings there. Here you see to the right the Villa del Arco, and the building in the middle is actually the spa and gym, where we had a beautiful 80-minute massage that was so nice. And here's the room. As you come in, the first thing you face is the kitchenette. On your right is the bathroom. Yeah, go back. Yep, that's me. All set for the pool. As you come around, for some reason, I turned the thing sideways. I don't know why I turned the camera sideways, but anyway, that's the adjoining room. Nobody over there. There was somebody, actually. They made something that one night really stunk. The beds were big, spacious, and very comfortable. Inside the big bureau is a nice TV set. Hey, it's me again. A nice little work table that was really nice, but the best part of the whole room, besides the comfy beds and the nice bathroom, was this patio view. Come on, get out of the way of the screen door. Beautiful table and chairs. That's Gary's room over there. He was just on the other side of the elevator. And here we see the inner court. There are the other suites and rooms that are available here. They have up to a penthouse size. That's the one pool there and another large pool. You can just make out the pirate ship there on the right, and that's a bar. And Land's End, the famous rock formations, and there's also an arch there. It's a dragon head drinking from the water. We'll see that soon. The place is just gorgeous, really. So, our first night, we had dinner at the taco bar. We didn't start our full eating and drinking package till Wednesday. And they had this great hibachi surf and turf. Chicken, fish, steak, and vegetables served right at the table. Excellent. Second day, we went on a sunset dinner cruise. We did that with the girls last year. So there's the famous arch behind me and Gary. Gary's on the right, of course, if you don't know him. And that arch, you see, it's a dragon's head. And then, since it was such a nice shot, I thought I'd take another selfie with just me and the dragon. As it was approaching sunset, we had a sailboat hiking past us. Just thought it was a nice shot of that sailboat on the water. That's the Sea of Cortez. And the food they served was great. Typical Mexican fare, quesadillas, rice, frijoles, excellent food. Tasted great. And there was the whole evening sunset. Really, really nice. Next morning is the breakfast bar buffet, and every morning it was great. Super stuff. We did jet skiing on a very rough and actually rainy day, and we did an ATV excursion where we each had quads going through the desert. They were really a blast, but we didn't get any pictures, and so I just want to let you know we did that. That night, there's Gary. Hi, Gary. And this was the view we had most of the nights. We ate at the Neptune restaurant, which was one of their fancy restaurants. Fish was unbelievable. Seared sea bass. Oh, it was so good. Palomba rice. Excellent. Gary had tuna tartare. Super. The next to the last day, we did a zip line rappelling. The most dangerous part actually was climbing the mountains to get to the zip lines. And here's a great shot the guy took of me on one of the zip lines. These zip lines are long. They're 1,500 to 3,000 feet long and 200 to 300 feet high. Here I am going now.
Look at the camera.
Hasta luego, amigo. Enjoy it. That's it. Good job.
Sí, señor. No, señor.
Bye-bye, Steven. As fast as we were going, for some reason, except for Gary, nobody really quite made it to the end of this one line. We had to get saved.
We're going steady, that's all.
After the zip lining, we got a chance to do rappelling off a 200-foot cliff. Of course, I jumped at the chance, pardon the pun. There I am getting ready. And here you can see it's pretty far up, but the rappelling was great. They had it set up. They gave good classes. It was actually quite safe. They had somebody at a belay line at the bottom. You couldn't fall, really. But when you do rappel, you get a good spread, and you jump off and you lean back. The final zip line was a race zip line. So here's Gary to the right, me. Of course, Gary has a little more mass than I do, and he built up speed and beat me. And unfortunately, it was time for the final dinner and sunset again at our favorite place, Neptune Bar. Here's a panoramic view. That is not the sun. That is actually the moon. It was light enough. The moon was out, and within 10 minutes of this shot, it was pitch dark, and I had got the last sunset that we got to see, and it was just beautiful, as you can see. As we were flying from Cabo San Lucas into Dallas-Fort Worth, we found out when we landed that the flight to Orlando was canceled. Like a vault. Nothing was flying that night at all. So I ended up finding a room at a Marriott, which wasn't too bad, actually, only about 10 minutes from the airport. You can see it's very nicely put up here. It's a little studio. Nice, comfortable bed, beautiful bathroom. So I was kind of impressed that it was such a nice place, but I wasn't very happy. However, next morning at 7:05, the planes were flying again. So I got on the flight and landed in Orlando, got back to Gary's house. I stayed at Gary's house for a day or two. Thursday morning, we got tested for COVID. And then Donna said, well, you know what? I don't want you to give me COVID possibly, but come home. Of course, there was a condition that I had to meet if I was going to come home before the test results came back, which came back negative. It was a really fun trip.